What do we do? Okay, we're live.
Jeez, we're live. Dope.
Man, we got here. My boy Ed. My boy Ed. I appreciate the Dragon Ball Z profile pic. Let me post this on you
Do you
can
know?
Mhm.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think the first time we ever interacted on Twitter, you said, "Oh, I like the profile pic." I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna get on in it."
Yeah.
I was like, if he called me some Dragon Ball Z nerd, I weren't gonna have it. No way.
It's gonna kill me on there, huh?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no shit, man. Fuck. Have you seen the new lightweight rankings? Obviously, I don't want to jump the gun in it because obviously you're gonna want to intro it.
Ah, man, I did. Sadly, I did.
I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing at the state. Do you know what? I don't even know like how can I take ranking seriously anymore when shit like that happens.
I think that's the worst one. I think
Yeah.
the literal worst one I've seen in a minute. Like I can't even think of a worse jump up I've seen in a long
I,
time.
I don't get their logic. Like he beat Drew Dober. I think they bumped him up to 15 after he beat Hernandez, who wasn't ranked at the time. He got knocked off. He
No,
beats Moises, who's 14, and he was getting moved up the rankings casually as well because he was number 11 when he fought Drew Dober. And then they were getting rid of guys from the rankings, and they were just bumping him up like we wouldn't notice.
dude, you wanna hear something really funny? You wanna know when he really got ranked? I think if I look at I don't know, maybe my memory's off, but I remember when he got ranked. Let me look at this motherfucker. He beat this one little bum, bro, and then
Did he beat Javi Ramos when he got ranked?
no, even before that. It was this one. It was the biggest bum I ever seen in my life. And
he beat T-Bow, didn't he, in the last 6?
I think maybe it was T-Bow, but it was Kajan Johnson. That's when I started noticing him in the ranking.
Oh shit, yeah.
This dude, this 23 and 14 dude.
Oh my goodness, man. I don't even want to get.
This dude's a bum.
Do you know what? Yeah. Dan Hooker, I don't know if you watched his Submission Radio interview, but it was interesting. So he said, "Oh, Islam keeps bringing up that I'm 3-3 in the last 6, but he's calling out Tony Ferguson, who's lost the last 3. Like, where does the logic? Like, where's the logic?"
He got none, man. That dude.
I think Dan Hooker would fuck him up. That's why he doesn't want to fight him. Dan Hooker would fuck him up. The last guy he fought, yeah, who's got the threat of the takedown, but it's also like Gilbert Burns, man. Like Gilbert Burns has got a better skill set than Islam Makhachev, man. And you just wipe the floor with him, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he's saying Dan Hooker's 3-3. Like he didn't just fight Dustin Poirier, who right now is everyone's saying is the #1 lightweight, and he didn't fight Michael Chandler, who just fought for the belt. Like, what is this nonsense, bro? Like,
yeah, man.
I don't bring up records and shit when you see the caliber of fighter that Dan Hooker's fought. It's just stupid.
You know what's crazy about Dan? Since we're talking about him, I always hear like he's so overrated. Like I never understood the hate for the guy. Like even like it might have been the Felder fight. They thought he lost.
Yeah, because I thought he lost that decision. Ever since then, people have been rooting against him, to be honest. But like for me, it was like it was one of them cards. Yeah, you could have gone 3-2 either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think the awkward factor kind of favored him, to be honest. It's similar with Till Wonderboy in that sense, because Till fought in his own backyard, didn't it? If he didn't fight in his own backyard, and we had the Houston judges, what knows what happened. Oh God.
Fuego, by beating number 15 Dober, who lost his ranking, and 14 Moises, that wasn't ranked before the fight got announced. Clown.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what I wanted to bring up? Fuck. I don't know if you noticed this, yeah, but in the build up to that fight, Thiago Moises said something like, "Oh, I was on the last fight of my contract with the UFC when he fought Michael Johnson."
Oh, okay.
And basically, they were going to cut him. I think they were going to cut him because he was just a bog standard jiu-jitsu guy, innit? There weren't nothing special about him, no marketability, and he hadn't fought anybody noteworthy, innit? He subbed him, and then obviously he got the plaudits and shit, innit?
Yeah.
So you're literally talking about he's fighting a guy who was on the cusp of getting cut by the UFC, and it's just like I'm seeing people now all of a sudden almost talk up Moises so that they could talk up how impressive the win was. But the way Islam fans were talking about before the fight got announced, you would have thought this guy would have beat him in 2 rounds. So the fact that he went 4 rounds and he got his back taken and he got taken down by Moises.
Yeah.
Little lightweight. And then, bro, he's not Khabib, bro. These men got to stop. These men have got to stop. It'll be interesting. Do you think they gave him number 5 to entice people to fight him? Because there's a good number behind his name now.
Maybe I don't know. I think I kind of compare it to the Weili Zhang thing because I never understood how she got the title shot. I think she beat Tisha Torres and they gave her a title shot. So I never understood that. But
is that the chick she mashed up with elbows?
Yeah. Oh no, that was a different girl. I maybe, but I think it was some other black girl.
Because I thought she was good on the feet, innit? And then I seen her ground game and I thought, fuck. And she's in China, and Uncle Dana wanted to exploit that market for a minute. I knew Uncle Dana was going to move her. I just knew it.
Yeah, and that's like the honest, that's the truth of it. But I think with what's it called? With that situation, I think people didn't really want to fight her. I think Claudia and I think girls out higher up in the rankings didn't want to fight her. Because it's just what's the point? They don't really gain nothing out of it. It's the same thing with Islam. That's my point. Yeah, Dagestani privilege.
I don't understand. People are talking about his marketability, but everything I see in the promo is always talking about Khabib. It's I don't know, man. It's just a bit they're constantly using Khabib's image and everything else to promote this guy, and it's just bro, you're promoting Khabib's pad, man. Leave him alone, man. He probably fills up Khabib's water bottle for him or something. I don't know what he does, but do you know what? There are things that he does that intrigue me, but there are things that I think he just lacks.
No,
obviously, I think it's a case of we just need to see him fight the right guys to see if he's got certain things.
Yeah, I wanted to see him fight Gregor. That was my whole point.
Gregor was the one I wanted to see after he beat CDF. Gregor was the one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
But I saw Islam just wanted to fight names, innit? And it's you don't really have the privilege to fight names right now. It's
and I kind of pray they don't put him. I think he already is in this position, but I feel like he's in that Chimaev spot right now.
Yeah, he is.
Because he's been in the UFC for a minute. It's not like he just got here. He's been in
this. This is what I said. He's been in this promotion for 6 years, and he only just beat when Drew Dober, they knocked Drew Dober up to 15. That was his first ranked win. Yeah. What the fuck's he been doing? People Khabib. You do realize Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington fought in a welterweight division together for 3-4 years. You can't say the team thing because you could build him up appropriately.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Their records are a bit fucking sus, to be honest. You look at Khabib's 29-0. As much as I rate him, I had people trying to compare his resume to John Jones. I was like, you realize John Jones' first 16 fights, he was fighting guys like Ryan Bader and Rampage Jackson and all these guys.
Yeah.
Khabib's first 16 fights don't even have Wikipedia links. Don't talk to me. And some of his fights, some of Khabib's fights, if you look at his record, right, they're MMA bouts sanctioned for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson brought it up. I don't know, man. It's weird, isn't it? But
yeah, he did bring it up and got hate, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think different promotions in different countries obviously have different rules as to what constitutes as an MMA bout in it, which is I kind of get it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I kind of we talk about state commissions in the US and stuff, but obviously you go to another country, you're going to play by their rules, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, so you're right.
Kind of like that. Do you know what? I don't know who he's going to fight because Chandler came out and said Justin's been ducking him. I don't know what's going on with Justin Gaethje.
Honestly, I think Chandler knocks Justin out. Dude, did you see Ali go crazy on Twitter yesterday?
Is this about Conor?
No, it was about Chandler. He roasted the fuck out of Chandler, bro. I was like, yo, why is he doing this to him? Bro, he posted the Oliveira knockout, the Pitbull knockout, the Will Brooks knockout. He was like, sit down.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude's insane, bro. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but in terms of managers, bro, he's so entertaining. He talks so much shit. It's bro, what are you doing? You never see a manager even open their mouths about some of their fights.
Seems to be a
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think with him it's different though, because a lot of these fighters, no disrespect to them, like he kind of has to compensate for the fact they've got no personality in it, so he talks on behalf of them in that sense.
Yeah,
and then you just see Henry Cejudo try to talk in it. It's just with Henry Cejudo, it's like you've only really started to talk here because they wanted to scrap the flyweight division, and like nobody really gave a fuck in it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like we kind of know what the thing with Henry Cejudo is that a lot of people have talked about him to come back, but he kind of like he retired, wanted to do what Khabib did in a sense. Well, obviously he did it before Khabib, but he wanted to do where he wanted to hold up two divisions and be that dark cloud that reigns over them. 135 stacked than it's ever been before. Like, they don't give a fuck about him, let's be real. They're not really going out of their way to pay him to come back because they couldn't give a fuck. They've got another cash cow in Sean O'Malley and all these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of fucked himself over in that sense.
Yeah.
Like UFC, like Dominic Cruz said it, like he wants to be paid like 7-8 figure deals, paychecks, but you don't bring that money like that. Like, if we were to look at what him and DJ sold, I can't see where the money comes from.
It's not, it's nowhere to be found. And you know the thing about Cejudo, and I felt like I was okay with the retirement because I felt like I saw a lot of his career already. Like I saw a decent run. You know, he fought Demetrius, he fought TJ, he fought Marlon, he fought Dominic. I think, you know, I don't really think he needs. Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know like a 4-fight run that's as good as that, if you ask me. I know on paper anyways. Obviously in reality Don took the fight on short notice and is not as good as he used to be. But in terms of name value, I don't know a resume as good as that.
And then you could say Marlon
like I don't, innit?
has really went down. But I mean, besides that, TJ and Demetrius, that's pretty. Those are two pretty good names.
Marlon was like the number one guy after like TJ got suspended, and he knocked out Aljo with the knee.
Oh man, he was so scary.
He was so scary in that division, and that division only started to pick up heat then as well. So it was at the right time. He was catching.
Yeah,
he was like in this sport, you know as well as I do, innit? Like from a promotional standpoint, it's like that you have to catch. You have to like go with the wind in it and get the momentum at the right time.
Yep.
And bro, he was doing that. He was murking everybody. Like he was in it. Like he was murking everyone. And it's just so I'm looking at the top 5 lightweights now. So Chandler's twerking for the Gaethje fight. Gaethje, I don't know what he's doing. Dustin should be fighting Chandler. And Beneil said after the Tony fight he wanted to take 6 months off because he's just having a kid now, innit? So fair play to him, innit? But where does that leave him? The logical guy he fights is Tony Ferguson, which is below him.
Yeah, I think, or he said he wanted RDA, right?
He wanted RDA, but I think the UFC potentially could bait RDA into taking that because it's like he's number 5.
Yeah,
you wanted the top 5 guy. Here's your man, fight him.
Yeah, you know, I thought they were gonna do RDA and Gaethje for a second, but I think
I would have loved that fight.
That's the fight to make. I think him and Islam is probably what they're gonna try.
Do you know what? It's hard for me not to look at the numbers, but I want to make fights that kind of make sense, isn't it?
Yeah,
like Dan Hooker wanted to get on that card with who the fuck with the Vault card, innit? But he couldn't get on it.
Yeah, dude. Their New Zealand travel stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him, man. Like I don't think people understand. Like he fought Felder and Dustin and Chandler in the space of 11 months.
Yeah.
Like he fought back-to-back 5-rounders and Chandler when he got finished in the first round. Bearing in mind, I think he quarantines for something ridiculous.
It was like a month.
Yeah, he quarantines for like a month in between as well. All in the space of 11 months. Like he didn't really get any time. It's literally a case of he fights a guy, he quarantines for a month, he goes back home, he does his camp, and then goes straight back into fighting again, and then does the quarantine thing all over. Like, oh my day, like what he went through the last 12 months must be crazy. Like I can't comprehend it. Izzy as well. As much as we shit on him, like Izzy's activity's been on a high.
Yeah, he's really
he's really up there, man.
Imagine if Kevin Lee beat Sean Brady. People are doubting Kevin, and this feels familiar to his fight with Gregor, except Sean Brady is built different, and he will become a champ in 2023. Yeah, hey man, I like Kevin a lot. But that's a damn
I do as well. I don't know what it is with him. I look at him and I think he's built to be the perfect fighter, but there's something about him. I think it's his mindset.
Yeah.
But I think it's his mindset because I think I don't want to say he's not taking it too seriously because obviously I don't know him and it's a bit disrespectful. But it's like we're seeing 155, we're seeing 170, we see 155, we see 170.
No.
All I want from Kevin Lee is consistency. I want him. I bet we're guaranteed to see the best Kevin Lee year, regardless of who he fights. If we get 3 fights a year in one weight class, I just want him to do that.
I think honestly, real talk, I think the most consistent he ever was before the Tony fight. Honestly, he was on a decent win streak. But I don't know, man. I just thinking losing to Tony and then losing that such like a high profile fight. I don't want to say mess with him up like mentally, but like, man, like when you kind of lose in that kind of clutch situation and I want to say he quit, but he got tired, right? And then
I thought he did all right on the feet though.
Yeah, he did great. I
thought he did. I keep telling people, he's no schmuck on the feet,
Yeah.
But people, I don't know. It's weird because I think I've always said that I think we always talk about his grappling and not necessarily his striking. But I think it's the other way around where I think his striking is a lot better than it gives off. He just looks a bit clumsy on the feet sometimes. Like I think because he's got long, dangly arms, it doesn't look as presentable. Like when we see Usman strike sometimes and we just see him swing those long arms around.
Yeah,
it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as, like, for instance, when you see Colby pop a jab out or Jorge, for instance. Or I know Leon's long, but there's something about Leon's, like, you can see he's got that sniper approach where he'll just dart in and out kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel
because Usman just looks like a top heavy idiot who just throws his arms out, innit? He does, innit? Like I don't think he doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing to watch it from a striking standpoint.
I will give him some leeway. Usman has gotten a lot better on the feet. I will say that. I think
a lot sounds like an exaggeration, but
dude, did you ever see him? Was it Emil Mick? Did you see him fight Emil? Did you watch him strike Emil Mick? And you're like, oh, this guy is like, I thought he was Derek Brunson when I really first saw him. They was trying to play that game, man. They was trying to promote him. I was like, nah, y'all not. This is Derek Brunson. He ain't doing nothing, but I'll give him some respect. He throws straighter shots. You know what I mean?
I think obviously the long arms helps. Catching people with straight hands, but it's like I don't know. I watched the Jorge fight again, and I just look at Jorge and I think Usman was good, but I think Jorge was lackluster I think Jorge was so scared of the takedown the entire time. Like he usually has that high Muay Thai guard, and I just saw his hands were low the entire time. Yeah. He didn't respect his power as well, because he said a lot in interviews, oh, Usman hits like this. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And I was like, Usman can hit, but it's like, I think the way Jorge approached the fight was wrong. And Jorge came out like, I think the first thing he said to Ariel was, I'm getting 6 weeks, which isn't ideal. So I was like, there's a built-in excuse there. But even on his YouTube channel, he announced that he wanted to fight initially in October, didn't he? That's why everybody was talking about the tough stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just think he wanted the extra months to somewhat deal with the wrestling in it, because you can't close that gap in 6 weeks. Yeah, you just can't in it. Against Usman as well. Like, you just, like, the wrestling aspect, you can't close it anyways. But even when I saw the first fight, I thought he was all right in the clinch. I don't think he was too bad.
Yeah.
Given that he's got like, so, do you know what it's hard for me to not look at him as a lightweight in it, but there's certain fights it's like, he does actually look like a welterweight. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're right. I got stuck doing that. Like, even with Gilbert Burns, like, he looked bigger than Woodley. He looked massive.
I know.
He looked massive, and I was like, and then even we talk about your boy Chiesa as well. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how the fuck did he make 155? The dexterity of his arms and arms and legs.
Big boy, right?
He's a big boy, man. Fuck.
Yeah, but I think we were talking about Kevin. You know, interesting about Kevin, since you brought up Usman, I think he was the same reach as him, which is insane to me. I think he has like a 6-inch reach, and it's like, bro, like, how are you not using your jab? Like, how are you letting these guys get so close to you? You know? And
Chiesa's not that old either, I don't think.
I think
I wish I had my phone on me, but I'll look it up now. I think he's in prime time, I think. That's why he's on the run.
Yeah, he's on prime time. Fuego, Michael Johnson or Jeremy Stevens. Who would you pick? I gotta go with that boy MJ. I gotta take Michael. You never know, Jeremy might knock his ass out. But
did Jeremy call out Conor McGregor? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, he did.
Bro, I heard someone say it to me, and I thought they were taking it. He's 33 apparently. He turns 34 in December. Chiesa.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's prime time right now.
Yeah.
Colby or Burns?
Yeah, he's about Usman's age. Yeah, he should be realistic. Colby and Burns is an interesting one because I don't know, man. I keep changing my mind every time I hear about that.
I think
I need to get your thoughts on it.
I think it needs to be a 5-rounder. I don't want to see no 3-round bullshit.
Yeah. People are shitting on him after the Wonder Boy fight, to be honest.
Yeah, that's not fair.
It's a bit like, bro, like people expect you to fight the way the other guy's supposed to fight, and no, that's not an MMA fight works. You're supposed to fight where you want the fight to go and dictate it that way. Like Burns did what he should do in it. Like, I want to shit on him for that, to be honest, because I've always said the way to fight Wonder Boy is obviously you've got to keep him guessing, just like what he does to you on the feet, in the sense where he always keeps you guessing. 1 minute it's a side kick to the body, then it'll be a leg kick, then it'll be a head kick. He'll raise his hands from his hips and then throw the jab out. He'll always keep you guessing. I think to fight Wonder Boy, you've got to kind of reverse it and do the same with him.
Yeah, that's how it has to be. But I mean,
I'm surprised he was able to take him down though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. With that Burns fight, what I found impressive, and I told a lot of people, I think his wrestling is actually a lot better than people give it credit for. A lot of people talk about his jiu-jitsu, but it's his wrestling. And I think a lot of people underrate. But I mean, with Colby, I don't know, man. You know, the reach wouldn't be a big difference, but I think Colby might have a 2-inch reach advantage over him, so it wouldn't be a big difference. But I just feel like the pace, man, and I just Burns.
I don't trust Burns is too explosive for me. I don't trust his cardio, to be honest, because I think we could very much see what happened in the Robbie Lawler fight.
Yeah, I think so.
People are acting like Gilbert Burns hit hard, but let's not pretend Robbie Lawler hits like a bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like Robbie Lawler cracked him a few times as well. I'm not saying he hurt him, but I'm saying Robbie hit him with some good shots as well.
Dude, Robbie was so in shape for that fight, and then you see Robbie fight Neil Magny. It's a shame, man. It's a literal shame. I'm like, God damn, like what happened?
Yeah.
But
do you know what I wanted to throw this up? I want to throw this up because I don't know where people stand with this. But Wonder Boy, I don't know how much wrestling like he does with other people, but I know Chris Weidman's a huge influence on his camp, isn't it? And I just think him not having him there for the camp specifically to deal with the wrestling of Gilbert Burns might have hindered him a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Do I think if Weidman was in his camp, he'd be able to deal with things a lot better? I don't know, but
I think so too. But honestly, like I didn't think he did as bad. I almost thought it was like he almost won it, low key. When I watched it live, like I thought he won the second, but Gilbert got that last second takedown, and I can get why that could have swayed some people. And then he dropped him in the third.
Yeah, I thought he was winning the first half of this third round. I thought he was winning that, and then I seen him get controlled for 2 minutes. I was like, bro, you can't give Wonder Boy that round when you've been controlled for half the round.
Yeah, and that's my heart. Yeah, so I just if Wonder Boy had more time, you know, I feel like if he had more rounds, I think he could have dealt with Burns. But I think Burns just secured the rounds and he just won the fight. Yeah. You know, he did nothing. There's
you know what? I can't hate on him for fighting Wonder Boy like that because Wonder Boy is so good at like with his range and stuff. But if he fights Jorge like that, people will shit on him.
Yeah, honestly, and you know, with Burns and stuff like that, I gotta give him credit. You know,
we got to address some of the comments because
I know. I feel bad. Let me read. Okay, I'll do the most recent. Nick Diaz or Robbie.
I don't even know how to pick a fight that I've not seen in 50.
I'm taking Robbie, and everyone's like coming at me sideways.
You know what? Yeah. Do you know what? Because I would have been like 7 when that first fight happened, so I'm not going to pretend I saw it live and bullshit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it just reminds me of the Incredibles film, innit? Like I had good memories watching it and that, and then the second one never came out, and then it come out like 15 years later. By then, I just lost all excitement for it. And I watched it, and it was a fucking letdown. I think this fight's going to be a bum fight, to be honest. Like, I don't want to be rude, but it will be on it. Like, I think if you look at the card they're on, that card needed help to be sold because it's on the Nunes Pena card as well. I think.
No. This is on the. I think the Hulk Ortega.
Wait, let me check.
It is. I think it's on that Ortega card.
Is it on the Ortega card?
Yep.
But they couldn't throw our boy Dan Hooker in there, but they can throw some other. Oh my days!
You was about to say some other bums.
I don't want to call them bums in it. Fuck that, man. Ortega was just in a triangle in it. I can't call him a bum. But yeah, because I thought he was on the Pena card, in it. That's why I was like.
It would have been. I think that would have been a lot better for Houston.
Out, man.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
But
I wish I had my phone. It's down. Oh no, there it is. So what pay-per-view is it? Let me have a look.
I think 267 something like that.
Ooh.
Oh, Ortega as an underdog against a Vulcan. Wow, that's interesting.
He was always going to be the underdog, though. Volk's beating arguably the pound for pound.
I thought the dummies would have Volk as the underdog. Ortega looks so good. They was doing all that nonsense. But that's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait. I can't wait to see TRT Ortega.
Wait, 267 is Jan Blachowicz.
I think they're on, or actually was it 260? Search it.
I'm gonna look up 266 because
maybe that
can't be that. It can't be that far out. He said September, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure Dana White said September he's fighting, isn't it? Yeah, it is September. It's the Volk card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right. Valentina Shevchenko, Laura Murphy. Yeah, that's why I said they needed the help they can fucking get with that card. Because Volk don't really sell, innit?
Yeah.
And neither did Valentina, innit? Like I was like, no wonder they put like Nick on that card. It made sense, innit?
How did Figueiredo lose to Gordon? I think you sent me a meme about that. That one had me crying. But I don't.
I didn't even watch that fight. I think I zoned out for like 15 minutes, and then I came back. You don't understand, innit? Because that card was the Makhachev card, and those motherfuckers got us staying up till 5 a.m. to watch Islam Makhachev hug someone against the fence, man. What the fuck? Like they take that. You Americans take liberties with us, Do you know how hard it is for us to follow the sport? And you got us staying up till 5 a.m. to watch that shit.
I know. What time is it right now? Over there.
Right now it's 8:30 here, p.m. 8 p.m.
Damn, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy. But right now, for me, it's like fucking 12:38. And
yeah. No, you guys. Yeah, it's blessed, man. But obviously, like, do you know what? That card was surprisingly. We don't get like late fight night cards like that, innit? Because usually it'll be like 1, and then by 3 a.m. 3:30 we'll finish, innit? So it's not too bad. But that card, for whatever reason, was on at like fucking 3 a.m. starting the main card. I was like, bro, I'm not even paying like pay-per-view for that shit. They got me staying up till 5. But do you want to talk about the Conor card?
The what?
Conor Dustin card. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, we can talk. Well, we want to talk about the main event.
We could talk about it all.
Yeah. I thought the card was good. I thought it was a fun card actually. This is probably one of like the better Conor cards I've seen in a long time. But yeah,
I don't. That up because I was wondering why they built that up because the Cowboy card and the first Dustin card was horrible.
Oh, dude!
Like, in terms of on paper, like
it was.
They're reluctant to have champions on it because they get pay-per-view points in it, and they'll be getting paid extra money for the work that Conor does, isn't it? Because you guaranteed 1.5 mil pay-per-view buys if Conor's on the card. Whereas usually these champions sell 500-600K out push. You know what I mean? Uncle Dana don't want to pay the fighters. Okay, let me not say that before he cancels me. No, we love Uncle Dana, man. He saved me through the pandemic.
Yes, sir. Dude, man, Dana. Oh man, he looked really sad when Conor lost. Dude. I get it. It's his cash cow, but like,
I'm seeing a comment now saying I sound a little like Tito.
Let me find it. And you sound like You know what? Here's my thing about that guy, T. I have no issues with him. I kind of feel bad for him because he gets a lot of hate.
I think he gets a lot of shit in it. Yeah, he really does.
And like honestly, like his opinion, like I don't really, it doesn't affect me. It's just it's a different opinion, obviously, but I don't think he deserves some of the hate he gets. I've seen it.
I know he does the whole politics stuff, and obviously I'm not too educated on American politics myself. So I've not really seen that side of him. I only know him as a fighter in it, and I just remember Chael's son said something. He responded to something. It was the last fight they had in it.
Yeah,
and Tito said, "Oh, he only gets opportunities because of his mouth." And then Chael goes, "The only person I know who gets opportunities with my mouth is your ex-wife."
For real?
Have you not seen it? He used to be like, I don't know. He used to be with a porn star or something, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh no. I think I did. Yeah, like you do sound like Tito, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I didn't even realize they were talking about Tito Ortiz.
That's who he's on about.
I thought he was talking about the Tito from Twitter.
I've never heard his voice, so I don't know.
Yeah, I heard him a few times.
You know what? If there's anybody who's, bro, that guy Tito, the way he defends Usman, bro, I'm assuming he's got some sort of qualification in law.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. That guy gets a lot of shit, and he does defend Usman like a motherfucker. But like, I do kind of feel I see a lot of people kill this guy. Like, I mean, attack him. I don't know what he did.
It's that big Twitter account thing, isn't it? Like, you gotta admit, like the accounts that get the most heat is probably the ones with the biggest the most eyes on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens all the time. In any walk of life, like in MMA, like Connor's the most popular but the most hated like fighter simultaneously. Do you know what I mean? John Jones as well. Do you get one? Like, it comes with the territory. Like, obviously, like if he's getting any abuse in that, like obviously it's not even condone. You don't condone that shit in it. Like, just hope that he's cool with it all, innit? Look, I don't really take MMA Twitter like that too seriously, because it's like, obviously you're gonna have one opinion, I'm gonna have my opinion, but we can be adults about it, innit?
Yeah, and it's about fucking fighters, you know? Like the hell we gotta go to war for.
It's one of them, innit? Oh my god, do you know what? I'll send you the tweet that I put out the night. Nobody looked at it, by the way. That the night that Stipe was fighting Francis said it. Fuck me, bro. I got humbled so much.
Oh, man, that. Yeah, nothing against your boy Stipe, but I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that one. I'm sorry, but I thought the Stipe fans were getting a little arrogant in the build up for that second Francis fight. So,
you know what it was though? Like, I can only speak about it from my point of view. All I saw was people talk about Francis's improvements, but I was like, we've not seen his improvements because he was in there in like 90 seconds. He smoked 3 dudes, and I was like, bro. You guys are all talking about like he can deal with the takedown, but we've not seen him deal with a single takedown. Like, it was just like,
that's true. He's dealt. I think Curtis tried it, and I think Kane they were all half-assed attempts.
Yeah,
kind of tried it, but that wasn't enough to really see if he could deal with it.
Do you know what terrifies me about that dude as well is that, like I look at some of his knockouts, and they're like he clipped Curtis around the side of the head. He weren't even like a. You get what I mean? And he fucking just wiped the floor with him, and I was just like, oh my goodness. It's just like the second Curtis fight anyways. I think the first one was a doctor stoppage, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And I was just like, oh my goodness. He's just clipped. He hasn't even like fully like hit him clean, and he's just gone down.
I know, man. Those gloves, man. It's a different world. Yeah. But thoughts on Paddy Pimblett? I don't know, man. The kid talk like the GOAT. Like,
bro. I've seen a few stuff from him from Cage Warriors, isn't it? I think he started off as a jiu-jitsu guy, innit? Like, I'll educate
he's a grappler.
Yeah, he started off as a jiu-jitsu guy. But like, obviously, like, you know as well as I do, innit? The best fighters in MMA, you've got to be competent at 2 of the 3 like main like martial arts, innit? So you either got to be competent at wrestling, striking, or jiu-jitsu, innit? You've got to be competent at 2 of the 3, otherwise you're fucked. Yeah. And I think we are seeing him. I think the COVID stuff didn't help. And when I looked at his topology, he's had a lot of fights like cancelled, or like some guys pulling out and shit like that. But he's been in a tricky spot in terms of activity and stuff. But
I mean,
he's been getting better with his hands and stuff. So I'm kind of worried in the sense that, because obviously we've only seen him make the adjustments in the recent fights. You know what you were saying, the whole cliche about grappler falls in love with his hands, and then you get caught into it.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you're baited into like, honestly, like walking into the fire kind of thing, and then you're kind of in a spot where you're just on that canvas, which isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think he's a bit more clued up on that. As for the weight class situation, I know he's about 26, 27. And he's gonna like the evolution of his body as well. Like when you look at his first professional fight and now, he looks so different. But he's only gonna get bigger, to be honest. Like he's not gonna be making 140. He's fighting at 155, but I can't see him fighting at 145 unless it's for the right fights. Because I think in the area interview he said he preferred to go to 145 because it was the right. There was a clear pathway in that division, isn't it? You're seeing right now with 155 and the politics behind that.
Man,
how the fuck's he gonna get to? Like we're seeing Fiziev and Yukin struggling to get fights and shit like that. What the fuck they're gonna do when they see this kid do some stuff at 155? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so and it's crazy because it's like, man, like I thought the politics would leave after like Conor and Khabib, and they're kind of out of the title picture, but it's like it's still growing. Like I don't get the favoritism going on with like some of these guys, but. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But
like, I love Uncle Dana in it, but the way he handled like that 2015, 2016 period in the lightweight division, because we had a really good division back then as well.
Yeah,
I think he fucked it for everybody. To be honest, he fucked it for everybody. Like how Tony Ferguson didn't fight for the belt, the official belt. Like,
Tony's the victim.
It hurts me so much, and it's just like the biggest what if story for me in MMA is probably Tony Ferguson, to be honest. If he had fought for the belt, like it's just like it was just weird because what they were doing with Eddie Alvarez as well. It's like they had him fight Justin Gaethje, he'd lost, and it's like the reason why they got rid of Eddie Alvarez is because he was beating like the lightweights besides Conor. Like obviously he couldn't beat Conor, but like he was in a tricky spot. Like if you've got a guy who's lost to Conor, but then he's beating everybody else. What the fuck does that do for your division? It's like he beat Justin Gaethje. I thought he was beating Dustin Poirier in their first fight, and he got a lucky escape. Obviously, Dustin made the adjustments and beat him in the second fight.
Yeah,
and it's like if you're able to beat those guys, I think the only guy who's standing in his way was Khabib. And to be honest, everyone talks about money and shit like that, bro. But if someone throws 100 million your way to box Floyd Mayweather, bro,
your
hand up. You'd have Conor realistically at that time would have had to fight 20 times in MMA. Because he wasn't as like he was big, but he was also the Floyd fight also made him bigger, like regardless of what people want to say, because the numbers are there to prove it as well.
Yeah.
So I think Conor came back and then he started making 20, 30 million purses, whereas in the UFC he was making 5, 6 million.
I don't know. Is he making more than that though? Yes.
He made 20, 30 million against Dustin in the trilogy.
Yeah. That's what I think, because they keep on saying these like estimated person, and I'm like, man, I really do wonder how much these guys are really getting paid. Like, I remember they said something about John was getting paid like $800K, and I'm like, there ain't no way John Jones is getting paid at $800K. I think for the Dominic Reyes fight, and I'm like that's the estimated first, but I'm like, nah, he's making way more than that. But
you'd think so, but honestly, people would be surprised about pay scales in MMA, like.
Yeah,
I've been saying this for a minute because I think we've talked about it before. It's like, when Stipe defended his belt against Alistair Overeem, he was getting paid less than Overeem, and it's like,
that was nasty. That one was.
And I was just like, how can you, bro? How do you not get why he's pissed off? Like he's been defending the belt for years.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to run that division for half a decade, considering your lights can go out with one punch?
Yeah.
And it's just like they didn't respect him, and it's like the second he lost to DC, they were like, let's move him out of the way. Let's twerk for Brock. Get him in the octagon. Let's give him everything he wants, so he'll fight DC. That didn't happen, and they came back with their tail between their legs and goes, "Oh, Stipe, can you come and fight DC? Because John ain't ready to come up to heavyweight. Brock, can you come and save the division, please?" And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll whoop your boy's ass.
Oh.
No, it's true though, isn't it? Like, let's be real. Like, they've never they've been doing that to Stipe for a minute now. Like,
they are. They are,
and I'm surprised Overeem lasted as long as he did in the UFC because his manager finessed a big contract from them.
Man, they really did. Like that guy got paid good, man. Overeem got. Hey, I gotta respect the cat. He made his money.
Yeah.
But Oh, let me read some of these. I feel bad for not reading these comments. I don't acknowledge Tito much, but one time he said Usman didn't fake the nut shot. He said Colby's foot actually hit Usman's nuts, so I had to point out that he doesn't know where the male nuts are located.
Yeah, I thought that was a body kick, by the way.
I thought I was disgusted when I seen it live. I almost like this.
Do you know what made me? Do you know what made me? I don't understand how Usman fans like, but regardless of whether you're a Colby fan or an Usman fan, how the fuck can you see a man hold his eye? I don't know which way around it was, but he holds his left eye, but he supposedly got poked in the right eye. I don't understand how that works. Like, like I don't get it, man. I think he was getting the heat poured. He knew the heat was going to get poured on him. Some man was getting delayed and stuff. His cardio is good, but I think where Colby excels is the whole cardio thing, isn't it? I think if Colby's going to beat Usman, it's a decision, isn't it?
Yeah, he has to. And I want him. I want to see them wrestle. I really do. I think I just want to answer that question: who's the better wrestler of the two? Because I felt like that wasn't really answered in the first fight. So I want to see that. Tony Ferguson isn't even in his prime yet. Thoughts on Umar?
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, I'm assuming
is that the Bellator one or the other one?
No. I think Usman, the little Usman guy.
Usman's. I love Usman, innit?
Yeah.
So I think people look at the surnames and go, right, they're all gonna sniff crotch, but that Usman guy,
he strikes.
He's good. Yeah. And the thing is as well, he's as good on the ground as he is on the feet, which makes him a fucking problem because it's like the thing is as well, he's 21, 22. And it's like wherever you go, I'm gonna fuck you up basically.
Yeah.
Which is just mind-boggling. But yeah.
He's kind of like Rockhold. When I look at him, he's almost kind of built like Rockhold. But yeah, I mean, I thought he looked Umar. I thought he looked pretty good in his last performance. Against I forgot the Kyrgyzstan's guy, but is
he the boy that beat the guy on the weekend?
Yeah, Sergey. Yeah. I think that's his name, Sergey. Thoughts on Lemos? I thought that was rape. that was so bad, bro. She beat the shit out of her. Like,
I saw people saying it was a shit stoppage. Are you fucking kidding? She backpedaled to the other side of the octagon. That was a fucking great stoppage. Oh my goodness. Man. She was just gonna go back. She was just gonna go back in and eat another shot.
Dude, she was gonna die, man.
Yeah, man. But Lemos is giving shit to the top 5 guys. But again, if you're number 5, why do you fight number 14? Yeah. When you're literally one win away from a title shot. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel like sometimes, like we I think can't remember if I discussed this with you, but it's like Giga just beat Cub Swanson, who was ranked 13, 14, I think.
Yeah.
And then he calls out Max Holloway, and it's like, I think fighters struggle with knowing how to promote themselves and saying the right things. You get a 2-minute window here to promote yourself and make your name and make a sensible call out, and then he calls out number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the dummy, the black kid that got his arm ripped off by Paul Craig? What's that kid's name?
Jamal Hill.
Yeah, you remember before a few weeks ago he was calling out Yuri, and it's like, dude, like you haven't even.
Oh, I sent you that. Did I send you that?
Yeah, I sent you that. Like, what is that? What is
you know what? I didn't mention his name, and he just says to me, "Oh, like." I can't remember what he said, but he threw shade at me, and I was like, bro, I never even atted you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know how you got in that conversation.
Yeah, and I was he does respond.
Like, I never mentioned him. I don't know who else. I don't know if someone accidentally, I don't know if someone tagged him in it or something. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is I was specifically talking about Giga, and I talked about Luque worked twice for the Nate fight, and it just made him look stupid because he didn't even acknowledge him. Yeah. I was just like, I just think fighters need to be a bit more sensible with their call-outs because otherwise you basically just waste your window in it and people won't remember your interviews and stuff like that. I just think
Jimmy Crute is finna kill Jamal Hill. I just want that to be known.
Do you know what? Is there an argument to say he's probably one of the best guys at starting in light heavyweight? He starts fights really fast.
Yeah, I mean
he starts fights fast.
He's good. He's really. I mean, honestly, man, if his leg didn't twist up against Smith, I think he would have ragdolled that dude.
He was scheduled to fight someone else though, but props to Anthony Smith to stepping in on that fight.
No, I think it was Walker. It was Johnny Walker, I think.
Yeah, he was, isn't it? He was ranked to fight someone top 10, I think.
Yeah.
Top 10, top 12.
Jimmy's got a lot of potential, man. He's really good. I think
the Aussie New Zealand market makes him interesting as well, because I think if he gets a couple of wins under his belt as well, he might get pushed.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be something special. I don't. Yeah. He do have some losses on him. Like I forgot who else did he? I think he beat the shit out of Craig, huh? That's what I
think he's the one guy who beat Craig in that division, isn't he?
Yeah. Ankalaev is gonna fight Volkan. Man, I feel bad. I'm rocking with. I'm probably gonna rock with my boy.
I think Ankalaev's gonna. I think they're putting Volkan out to the slaughter now because
man, it's pretty sad. It's sad, but
I think that's the thought process behind that. But to be honest, I've wanted Ankalaev to fight a top 5 guy, and Johnny Walker gets to fight Thiago Santos. I don't even get it. After he got made to do the chicken dance by Ryan Spann, I don't understand.
Dude, it was so embarrassing watching that fight.
I think that in terms of quality, I think that's probably one of the shittiest fights I've ever seen. I've never seen 2 guys get rocked like 20 times, and none of them knew what the fuck was going on. It was just like it looked like a fucking bar fight, to be honest.
It was hilarious watching, bro. I was
watching that, and he's joined John Kavanagh, and that. I just think it's a shit camp for him, to be honest.
Dude, he's switching camps like a prostitute, man. Who was he with before that? He was with
He was with 3 or 4 camps, isn't it? I think he switched like 3-4 times in the space of 2 years or something.
Yeah, he's with TriStar, I think, right? For a little bit.
So, yeah, he went to Faris Zahavi, didn't
he? Yeah, just to get whooped on. What's next for Adesanya if he beats Whitaker?
He moves up to 205. I don't see what else is left for him in that division.
Yeah,
and I think he wants to go back as well.
I would be so disgusted, man.
Do you think he fights for the belt straight away though? Because that Dana White privilege is coming in handy.
Well, he goes for like well, I don't know, man. If Jan loses the belt, maybe like you do.
Are you kidding? You know what? If Jan hypothetically beats Glover and then Yuri were to beat Jan and in devastating fashion, do you think Izzy goes, fuck that, let me just stay up middleweight and fight another guy?
No, I think it would be bad for him because I'm not the biggest fan of Yuri, but Yuri got some long arms, man. That dude has weird long arms, like for that.
He reminds me of, do you know, on the feet, he just reminds me of Tony Ferguson. He's so fucking awkward. Like, I don't look at him as this clean, crazy technical striker. I just think I have no idea what that motherfucker's gonna throw. Like, dude, I don't know, innit?
I mean, the amount of brain damage he's gonna have. I mean, like later,
he's got like 30 fights and he's like 28, isn't it?
Yeah, he's insane. I still think he should fight Rakic. I feel like Rakic is getting treated like unfairly. I've never seen.
You gotta understand it. I know you love Rakic in it, but that Thiago Santos fight did him no favors.
I know, but like, so now you guys gonna treat him like an ugly girl or something like that? Like, yo.
FA treats the ugly girls well, man. Ugly girls need love too. Dude, FA's parents raised him well.
Yeah. No.
Shout out FA Senior.
Yes, sir. But I mean, god damn, like the way I see people talking about Rakic, like he's not even a person. He's not even a human being.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like criticism goes a bit over. Like I said, I wasn't too overly enthused by the performance, but I was like, I kind of understand, innit? I don't weigh 205 pounds in it. I'm not 6'4", so I can't comprehend what it's like getting hit by a guy of that size, like on a regular basis, innit? But I think Thiago Santos, I don't know, he just doesn't look like the same guy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, and they're high on Johnny Walker, which explains why they booked the fight.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about Thiago? I mean, when you rewatch that Jan Blachowicz fight, and then you go watch the Rakic fight. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know what happened to him. Like, obviously, the injuries played a factor, but like, my God, like, I kind of feel bad. I do feel bad for him. Volkan is a funny dude. Also, Ankalaev hasn't convinced me yet. 29-28 against Krylov. Walker gonna get chinned by Thiago. Yuri KOs Adesanya back to
Krylov's a lot better than people think, though.
Yeah, I actually picked Krylov in that fight. I remember, and and he disappointed me, but he did all right in that first round, man. He didn't do too bad, you know.
Do you know what? Yeah, the way that Walker Thiago Santos fight plays out, I forgot what I said ages ago because I had something on my mind. But I think if Thiago Santos just walks in backwards, it's his fight all day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think if you give Johnny Walker space to like throw his kicks and like get the kicking game off and setting things up and using his range, I think Thiago's having because if Thiago just goes backwards and doesn't initiate any pressure like he did in the Rakic fight, he loses, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he knows. I think he knows. Walker's chin.
I don't know how many fights Thiago's got left on his contract. I know he's been on a poor in a form, and you think if he loses again, especially to someone who's like ranked 14th, 13th, wherever he is.
Yeah.
Is it a case of did they cut him or does he go back to middleweight? Can he even make middleweight?
No,
middleweight's thin.
Yeah, it's thin, but I don't know if he can make that weight again. Imagine if Ian Heinisch was good. His story is insane. Yeah, he does have a crazy story. Craig Sun will probably win the decision.
I found it well weird that Calvin Gastelum, the mini fridge, managed to manhandle him.
Yeah, I know, right? Dude, I was like, oh my God. That's what's sad. It's like, I think Ian has the better wrestling accolades than Kelvin. But it's that situation again where like these grapplers, they fall in love with their hands and they kind of forget their roots. Like prime example, Tyron Woodley. He has the best wrestling. He has better accolades than Usman and Colby in college. But like, he fell in love with that power, and he kind of you can really notice it through his like title run. He stopped going for takedowns as much, and I think it bit him in the ass near the end. So
I kind of think though with a lot of wrestlers, isn't it, this transition over to MMA, because obviously the money in wrestling, there's nothing in it, to be honest. No offense, but it's a fact, isn't it? It's a fact. You hear a lot of them say, "Look, I literally switched to MMA, because I'd rather risk getting punched in the face and getting my lights out for the dough in it." Like Corey Anderson was saying that, and I think with Woodley, like he's like, I've got good hands, and I need to like get some knockouts and just obviously get the exposure out there and make money as a result and provide for my family and things like that. And you know as well, like. They're putting out finish bonuses and things like that in people's contracts. And it's like you're sending fighters out there with no like almost like as an incentive to go out there and chase the finish in it, which can be a problem. That's why I've always said they shouldn't put the live scorecards up in the middle of fights, because you've got people like not change their game plans, but they go out there and as a result, like they go out there over aggressive, and because of it, you take off like a couple of years out of their careers because they get KO'd devastatingly. Like. I'm willing to bet if they put the live scorecards up, we'd see a lot more finishes in the third round.
Yeah, we would. And we'd see a lot of people like kind of coast though, a lot.
Yeah.
We'd see a lot of people coast. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Cannonier versus Gaslam, who y'all got? I'm gonna take my boy KG. I gotta take my boy KG. I gotta take my boy KG for life,
I have no idea, bro. I need someone to treat me the way they treat Calvin Gastelum, man. Fuck me. he gets all these top 5 guys, man. I don't understand why he gets matched with some of these guys, man. And then some guys in middleweight struggle to get matches, man.
I think it's
who's he fought now? He's fought.
It's the Adesanya fight, right?
He's fought Rob. I literally think the Adesanya fight not. He's got credit in the bank because of it, but even then, like it's.
You think it was a fluke?
No, I don't think it's a fluke, because obviously we can see how durable he is. Because even in the Rob fight, he was getting fucked up for 5 rounds, basically. Like it's not a fluke. I think his chin made that fight more entertaining, because I think any other guy like.
Hello, is he there? I think he
just crumbles, isn't it? Like you're seeing, like, oh my goodness, man! What the fuck did they do to these rankings, man?
I know. Darren Silva's losses have aged horribly. Yeah, they haven't aged well. And then KG by sub, he's gonna try to wrestle. Yeah. There's a chance of that.
Does KG have that extensive jiu-jitsu background? Though?
I don't
know. I know his camp is very good at that, but I don't think he.
Yeah, no. He's.
Do you know what's weird about that fight? That one guy used to fight at welterweight and the other used to fight at heavyweight. Like the size parity between the two is mad, isn't it? I think it will translate as well, because I don't know, man. I think Cannonier hits hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
How KG deals with it. He fucking kicks hard as well, though. Oh my days! Like I look at some of his leg kicks. Ooh.
So, you know what we should talk about is the Cyril Gain stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted
you messaged me when that happened, didn't it? And I was like, yeah, we need we definitely this is a topic we need to talk about.
We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. Or do you think? All right, you're a Stipe fan, right? And you seen what Francis did to your boy. Do you feel bad for Francis, like a lot of people do?
Yes, but one, don't fucking bring that up again. It didn't happen, okay? Stipe still 1-0, okay? But, no. Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what it was? I think to my understanding of the situation was basically they wanted him to fight a month earlier than they wanted him to fight a month earlier.
Yeah.
He said no, I want to fight on this month. And then they've gone, right, fuck you, we'll just do the middleweight, we'll just do the interim thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also think some of the stuff that Dana said about Francis in the past, because I think Dana's literally said Francis not has an attitude problem, but he said Francis. Did he say Francis is arrogant or something like that? He's too or something.
Yeah. He's always had problems with Francis. I mean, even
like he likes Francis's fighting style, but I think like I love Uncle Dana as much as the next guy, but like if you don't do things his way, like he will literally like put you in the naughty corner in it and let you sit out. Do you know what I mean? Like he'll do that in it. Like, and people are talking about, is he gonna pay John Jones? Is he not? Like you gotta understand, like of all in all, like Dana White runs a fucking business in it, and there's a reason why it's worth over like I think it's doubled in value now or something ridiculous now. But so from the heavyweight division, like it's not like he's short of options. Like he's got Cyril Gane, he's got Derek Lewis. He's also got the winner of Rosenstrike and Curtis Blades. He's also going to have Stipe waiting in the back wing. So he's not going to pay John Jones 15 million or whatever because he can literally pay Derek Lewis 800k to go out and get a title fight in. Do you know what I mean? Like I think you can pay a fighter 800k or you can pay a guy 15 mil, and the outcome's gonna be the same. Where you get a pay-per-view out it, you're gonna make money off the gate and everything else. I just don't think he will ever pay. I don't think we'll ever see John Jones at heavyweight. And I think Francis will definitely fight the winner, but I think it will happen in January. Shit. Can you guys still hear me? All right, cool. Let me just look at the comments now. How did Miesha Tate get ranked to number 8 by beating 12? Your guess is as good as mine. But the one thing I want to say about Miesha Tate is I think she's come back after 5-6 years. I think I don't understand what people expect of her in the sense that do you really want her to fight fucking Amanda Nunes and throw her in the deep end straight away? Like I know boxing has this thing of tune-up fights, and I think as MMA fans we do like turn our noses at it, and we go, nah, we can't have tune-up fights and this and that. But I think for Miesha Tate it was a perfect like fight in a sense. Like, I think Renault said she's going to retire in it. Someone's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. So she fought someone who was in the top 15. She got the rounds in, which was important as well because we all know ring rust can be a factor. And yeah, like I thought she looked good. Alan Opuna. I got back Alan. I think the adjustments he made. The adjustments he made mid-fight as well. And he got the sub. Miesha Tate says she wants Holly Holm. I think she will. I think she very much will get that fight. I just don't. I think maybe they've moved her into number 8. Maybe to entice her into getting top to have Holly Holm fight, and it makes a lot of money as well, in it. So I can't see why the UFC. I can't see why the UFC wouldn't make Miesha Tate Holly Holm. It makes a lot of money for them. Did it happen next? Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. No worries. You got to pay your cable bills.
I know, brother. Dude, the Xfinity Wi-Fi thing is tripping. Yeah, real talk. I had to do the hotspot with my phone. I was like, "Yo."
Oh my goodness, yeah. I feel pretty, man.
I know. So what you guys were talking about, Miesha?
Misha and Holly Holm. We're talking about that. I think they moved into number 8 to try and get. I think she'll get another fight in before she fights Holly Holm.
Oh yeah, she's in the. I didn't even see what her. She's ranked at number 8
after beating like number 12, 13 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look at the rankings. I wonder what else happened on there.
eBay's reaction to Chiesa getting butchered will be priceless. That's going to be a rough day for you if that happens.
Hey, Angelo, I want you to know something. I will be coming after all of you if Chiesa beats that bum. All right? I want y'all to know that I'm coming for all of. I will never stop harassing you.
Do you know what that reminds me of? I think I tweeted to you about Gamrot because I just wanted to provoke you in it and poke like the bee's hive. Yeah. And then when Gamrot won, which I thought you'd win anyways, I didn't think you'd more of him. I saw you, put the emojis like, what you saying now, fucking fuck.
Yeah, man.
I love so hard. I love so hard. Chiesa will do the chicken dance. Chiesa isn't that easy guy to finish though.
I know they're acting like he's a bum. They're acting like he's the man. You know, all I know is Luka hasn't fought a grappler in a long time. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna keep it like that, you know. But I'm just gonna keep it like that. But I think
Luka, a lot of neutrals like him because he fights not like a bum, but he's a bit chaotic, isn't he?
Yeah. No, man. Honestly, I don't want to disrespect. He's one of the I think the most entertaining fighters.
Yeah, he is
in the company. Now I'm not even gonna say the division, in the company. When you really think about it, man, he has some great fights. The fight with Brian Barberena was just,
yeah. I've always said in it because Barberena doesn't have a name. People don't bring that fight up, but that fight is probably one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Yeah, getting subbed by Masvidal is a bad luck. Man, come on, dude. Y'all let that go.
Do you know the thing? Do you know what? Yeah, like Chiesa for me. Yeah, when I look at the grapplers in that division, he's actually a good grappler. Whereas I don't think Neil Magny is.
Yeah,
but I see him lose to Pettis and Kevin Lee. I mean, the Kevin Lee one's got a sting in it because of the press conference as well. You gotta admit that.
That one, but a lot of these were at lightweight. Like I feel like you guys. Yeah. You know what's crazy? No one even talks to. He beat Dos Anjos. He beat RDA. Everyone glosses that over.
He hugged RDA for 3 rounds. So he didn't really let it.
I know. But he beat that.
Like I watched that fight and I was like, I think his control was good, but I was like, because I thought his control was good, but I just thought he didn't really do anything with it. Like he grapples not like Usman, innit? Because I think he's got some. I think Chiesa's got some great submission offense. That's why I was disappointed I didn't see it. Didn't see some of that. But Usman's one of those guys who would just like hold your wrists, in it. Like he just won't attempt subs. He'll literally just hug you, lie on top of you, and drain your like gas tank out, innit? He's not willing to like take risks or do.
Has he ever subbed anybody?
This is what I get mad confused with Usman. He probably does, but he probably just takes you back. I'm guessing they're probably like rear naked subs.
I don't think he's subbed a lot of. I think he might have subbed only one dude ever. I think honestly he might have. I might be right on this.
Yeah, that's why I get mad confusion when people talk about Kamaru's like ground game. It's like he's got things he's good at, but I don't necessarily think he's like a complete ground guy. I just think he's very good at taking you down and controlling you in it. Whereas Khabib actually has like jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean? He's got one submission win. And this is from the guy everybody says has got an elite ground game.
Yeah. Are you talking about Usman? Right.
Yeah, he's got one submission win in 19
Yeah, minutes. It's against that Hassan guy, right?
Yeah. That was a tough fight finale, was it? Or was it the first fight he had in the UFC?
Yeah, I think he's only submitted.
Yeah, it's a tough finale. Yeah. Arm triangle choke, I knew it'd be some kind of
Yeah, some wrestler submission.
It really is because that is just I've been saying for years this guy's sub game ain't as good as people think. People are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at what he did to RDA, look at what he did to Maya. Yeah, he fucking hugged them on the ground and wrist control. He didn't fucking do anything.
Dude, I remember RDA almost he got him in a Kimura. Actually, a lot of people forget RDA almost got his ass. I remember.
Didn't Damian Maya take his back as well?
Yeah, oh dude,
he lucked out. Separated that.
He lucked out in some situations, man. That dude should be very grateful to some of those referees.
Yeah.
Jose Quintero coming for that belt. Oh, dude, that's so crazy. I want to see. I've seen I've seen highlights of that fight, but I want to see the full fight. I've always wanted to see that loss, but I've just
I can't find that fight to save my life. You know, I can only see. I can who gets choked standing up.
I know.
Do you know the thing is, he's fought some elite guys. He's been in some sticky situations, and the one loss he has is that. Fucking hell, man.
That dude's a bum, man. Like I think Colby has a win over that guy too. Like Jose Casar. I think he beat him. I think right.
Do you know what?
Uh-huh.
You know Colby's submission lost that inverted triangle. I have no idea if that's genius or that's fucking dumb.
Oh, did Colby? I thought it was
not Colby. Not Colby. Jorge Masvidal.
Oh yeah.
Is that Toby Amado guy?
Yeah.
I look at that. I've seen that sub a few times, yeah. And some guys, I'm sure some guys here know jiu-jitsu better than I do, but I have no idea if that was absolute genius here or that was absolutely like, bro, that was stupid. Like you shouldn't get subbed like that.
I don't know. That dude, inverted triangle is pretty cool. I remember I think Rockholds was pretty good at doing stuff like that to guys. But did he ever submit? I don't know if he ever submitted anybody. Yeah, but I remember I think he tried it on Rockholds. Yeah. I remember he tried it on
Rockhold's got the long legs though, innit? So you could always get catch someone's head like that.
Yeah.
Rockhold for me. Have you heard what Rockhold's been saying recently as well?
Yeah, I have.
Because he's getting frustrated. They're not giving him a serious fight. And it's like, bro, you got to give me a fight that's worth my time. Otherwise, I'm going to bounce on it. Like, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, he's got a point though, innit? Because if he fights someone like middleweight's got no names in it right now. Like, if he fights those guys, it's like they get to fight a former champ. If they win, they get a former champ on their resume. Yeah. Whereas if he beats, then he gets fuck all. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And he often comes out bitched out, and then
like a hoe, by the way, didn't say nothing.
Let me list off some of the names in this division. Why would he fight Muniz, Holland, Tavares, Weidman's out, Strickland, Shabazian, Gastelum, Uriah Hall? Why would he fight those guys? Like, why would he?
I think he want to fight Holland though, right? I think he said he wants to fight Holland.
I think, do you know what? Yeah, when Holland was on that run and they gave him Brunson, like if they had made Holland versus Rockhold, I wouldn't have been too mad at it because they're built very similarly in terms of the height and the reach. Yeah, you know, like Rockhold likes to enforce his kicking game. We get to see how Holland deals with being on the outside, getting chopped at. We get to see how Holland deals with him on the feet, and also Rockhold's got the ground game and the threat of the takedown. We could have seen that, and. As much as people disrespect Derek Brunson, only the very elite have gotten past him.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but I mean, Luke. If Luke would have fought Khamzat, man, it would have been.
Good. It would have going out in a stretcher, bro.
For them stretcher, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it would have been a bad day for them homies.
I'm looking at that. I still remember the Chiesa versus Magny card. It was a painful stinker. Do you know what? Do you know what happened? Do you know what it was with that fight?
What?
I don't want to say this in it because you'll never have me on again. I fell asleep after the third round. Fell asleep. I shut my eyes for about 10 minutes. I woke up and I see Chiesa's hand get raised by the ref. And I was like, how the fuck have they scored that? And I was just I was looking on Twitter, looking at the scorecards and shit. And I was like, oh, all right, it's unanimous. And so nobody's going to bitch about it kind of thing. And I was like, fuck, this is going to be so awkward if people bring this up in conversation because I'm not going to pretend I watched the fight. I saw the first three and I thought it kind of just looked like rinse and repeat. And I was like, I didn't even mean to fall asleep. It just happened.
Yeah, I feel it.
Like I said, man, us UK dogs, man, people don't understand. We watch a fight like that at 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., man. It really doesn't do well.
I think the one fight I ever fell asleep for was I think it was Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington, like the rematch that they had on the. I think I was on the Conor Cerrone. I fell asleep for 15 minutes. I was like, you know, I'm gonna take a nap.
You know what? I think you know when you're doing your what's it called? Your watch alongs, isn't it? And you get into the comments and stuff. There's certain fights where I look at them like, bro, okay, I'll take like 15 minutes off. I'll go watch like Family Guy or something.
Yeah.
Go back to the next fight. Like I know it's like snobbish, isn't it? Like sometimes I'm like, bro, I cannot be asked watching like two fucking like.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoy sometimes watching the
I've tried watching. I've tried watching cards from start to finish. But I've got that attention span where it's like even the I'll be honest in it, the Makachev fight was hard for me to watch. Like I was watching it, and he was like, like he'll be leaning on him on his back for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? Like,
yeah,
he can literally pin like the right arm against the fence. He can literally pin it and start throwing left shots to the body or left shots to the head and shit like that. And he could probably go for the stoppage or things like that. And I just look at things and I think, and then there were guys online trying to tell me he was trying to get rounds in there. Bro, you guys said he would smoke him in 2 rounds. Is he trying to get rounds or is he trying to smoke him? Which one is it? Like, fucking make your mind up in it. Like everyone on MMA Twitter, when it comes to like talking about their favorite fighters, they move like politicians. Like, they just go where the wind goes, kind of thing. It's just like, I can't believe you never mentioned this. Sandhagen and Dillashaw.
I know that is. I'm so hyped for that. There's so much on the line. A lot of people don't even realize it.
I mean, I thought do you know what? If there wasn't that fucking mess if Peter Yan wasn't fighting by the Pride rules, we would have had Corey get the next fucking title shot. But that is what it is.
Yeah, that would be amazing if they would fight like him and like Corey and Yan. I would obviously. I think I'd edge it to Yan, but man, that would be a phenomenal fight. I think Corey got a real chance in there.
Yeah, do you know what it was? I think at the time, when Corey had beaten Frankie, there weren't anything solid on the TJ front. So I always said because Aljo was getting neck surgery and he'd have to rehabilitate and then start training to get back in shape and things like that. Yeah, I wouldn't have been against having a Yan versus Corey interim fight, and then the winner of those fights, Aljo, when he comes back. But then TJ comes in and it's like, oh fuck, this whole thing's fucked again.
To be honest, Clay Guida would beat Islam Makhachev.
He's got the. Do you know what? That guy's got one of the best chins in MMA, but because he doesn't have one of the biggest names, like I don't think people talk about it enough.
But back to Corey. Yeah, man, dude, TJ. Honestly, I'm actually kind of scared. I'm picking Corey, but I'm actually kind of scared of TJ Loki because I think he might be able to win this, and I think a lot of people write him off.
I agree with you as well. I think with TJ as well. I think his style gives people problems in that division. Whether or not he wins or not is a different, obviously, story. Yeah. But I think 135 is a very striker heavy for me. That's why Merab caused a lot of the guys problems on it, and Aljo's been taking people's backs and shit.
Yeah.
And I think TJ does have the ability to give them problems. But you know what? There was something I was thinking about the other day in it, because obviously, let's be real, the PED is obviously a heavy topic of conversation. Yeah. And I was thinking about all the guys that has been taking stuff in the past, and I started to see somewhat of a correlation where we see guys like Hendricks or a Hendo or a Vitor and all these other guys, that have taken stuff and they've declined so horribly, almost to a point where it's, I think somewhat there's a correlation between if you take stuff, you're gonna like accelerate your decline in a sense, because if you're over reliant on that stuff, then eventually you're going to run out of juice in it, or like momentum and things like that. And we know MMA is always like evolving and changing, and it's full of like hungry lions and shit like that.
Dude,
I don't know if TJ gets smoked.
Yeah, I thought Hendricks was going to be the GOAT after the GSP in the first Robbie fight. I thought he was going to be the greatest of all time, and his decline, bro, was even
horrible, wasn't it?
It was scary. Like it was that bad. People,
it wasn't it?
Like I have friends that like their first fight, like watching MMA, was Hendricks versus Paulo Costa, right? Imagine watching.
They should have never made that fight though. I don't understand.
Imagine watching that and me trying to tell him like Hendricks was the former champ and Costa will never touch a title, right? Imagine me telling him that.
Yeah,
that's insane, right? Like that's oh my.
God. I know what you mean. Do you know what? Yeah, that reminds me. I've never been so wrong in my life, innit? But like when they made Ortega versus Max, you guys, I better not see any laughing emojis in the comments when I tell you this. Because I was trying to get one of my buddies into MMA, innit? And I said to him, look, you need to watch this Ortega Max Holloway fight. You know that guy, Ortega, he's gonna fucking win, and he's gonna make it look easy inside 2 rounds. So I went up to Manchester. I went to watch it. And he got beat the fuck out of for 4 rounds. And he just looked at me with a straight face and was just like, bro, you told me to stay up till 5 to watch him. Yeah, get beat up for 4 rounds. It was just I didn't even know what to say. Do you know what? Like I just thought Ortega was like that next evolutionary step into 145, innit? I just thought the manner he was winning as well, and the fact that he was like the first guy in years to knock out Frankie as well.
That one was heartbreaking for me to watch, to see Frankie get knocked out like that. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy seeing Ortega get up, but yeah, I don't know. Your boy's good though. I'm not gonna say he's bad. He's a good fighter.
It was a thing where like we all knew how good his fucking jiu-jitsu was. Like, look at what the fuck he did to Cub Swanson. And then I was like, bro, he started to add the hands and he started to add the final jigsaws to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Pieces to the puzzle kind of thing. And I was like, fuck, how does Max beat him?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, bro, I was so high on Ortega as well. And I was just like, bro, I don't know many people who picked Holloway against Ortega, innit? So if everybody all of a sudden starts acting like they were right all along here, I don't want to fucking
No, I think it was a lot of people did pick against Max. It was weird. Because it was autumn, like he had those weight cuts, and then he was missing fights, and it was so weird. Like everyone was almost dubbing Ortega as like the uncrowned champ. Like it was crazy.
I wasn't like that. I was just like Ortega's like looking more and more like the finished product. And for me, I got to a point where I was like, Ortega's so good on the ground. Yeah, he's getting better on the feet. He's looking like he's regardless of what people say about that performance, he's durable as fuck. To get beat up like that for 4 rounds and to not drop, that says a lot, bro.
But I cannot wait for my boy Volk to give Ortega that smoke.
I think Volk just fucking 50-45s him, to be honest.
Dude, and it's crazy. People are acting like Volk's a bum.
I think a lot of Volk haters are Max fans now, innit?
Yeah.
I think it's just like, so that now all of a sudden you're gonna see these guys change their profile pics to like Ortega, and like be like we're part of the Ortega gang and all this shit, and like fuck Volkanovski and all this shit, and it's just like I'll be honest, innit, I don't find his style the most entertaining in it, but I don't like disrepute how good he is in it. Like I know I think he's very good at keeping the fight how he wants it, innit? Whereas like you look at him and it's like he doesn't ever look like he's in a bad spot. Do you know what I mean? Like he just looks like he's in full control and he's well aware of what he's doing. I think that's a sign of someone who's like got problems, like he will cause problems, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that fight's so good, man. A lot of people don't give it its credit, but man, that matchup, like it's Volk's a great wrestler, but you can see Ortega can like counter that. And then the striking, right? Volk actually has the reach advantage, but Ortega fights like the longer fighter. So I can't wait.
His guard's changed a bit though, Ortega's, hasn't he? Like I saw a lot of the changes in TKZ fight. When I saw him drop TKZ with that elbow, I thought, fuck's sake, bro. Leave the guy alone, man. Fucking elbows are just haunting him, innit?
Dude, he did a real big switch around because he was more boxing heavy. And now he's a lot like almost like he had a Muay Thai kind of aspect of his game, and I mean he throws a lot. Like I remember I seen like a clip on his IG where like he's sparring somebody, and then in the background there's a TV, there's like a Muay Thai fight, and I'm like, whoa, that's like like I don't know if they're trying to imitate it, but it was pretty dope. But thoughts on Jeremy calling McGregor out? We talked about it. I like Jeremy, but he needs to chill out.
I think at this point, he knows like his position at the company is like at stake in it. Like he just needs another win. He needs a win, to be honest. I feel bad for him as well because I thought when I was watching before Cater and Max happened, I watched tape. Like I like to watch tape in it. Mm-hmm. So I was watching Cater versus Stevens, and I was like, he did a lot better than a lot of people thought. People would look up to the point of the finish. Like I thought you could argue the first round's his.
Yeah. He looked so good in there, right?
I thought he looked good. He'd look good in it. But I just saw everyone say, oh, Cater smoked him inside 2. Cater's great. I was like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Stevens took the first round. Like, it's just, he's a company man, innit? He's going to go away and fight, get paid, punch some people up and then leave the crib and that kind of thing. Just like,
dude, I like the way he fights. So I remember, I'll never forget when he fought Josh Emmett, and he shut all that Josh Emmett hype. Like, I mean, down.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a lot of people were really, because I think,
Josh Emmett's like 36 though, or something like that. He's like, people act like he's a prospect.
No, dude, he was. I remember the time for him was when he knocked out Ricardo Lamas. I think when he knocked out Lamas stiff, that was his time, and Jeremy just came in the cuts like, I mean, a straight up goon, and just took all of his belongings. Like how a female get done in the back out. Like, he did him so dirty, man. He did him dirty. He killed that dude, man.
I reckon Volki's. You need to read this. I reckon Volki's chinny. He got dropped by a head kick and uppercut. He got dropped by fucking 67-year-old Chad Mendes as well. People forget about that.
Oh yeah, man. Chad almost won that fight, man. I think Chad took his back too. Like, which is like, man, but you know,
I've said for a while, he hasn't got the chin people think he is. About 45 yet.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who hits. I don't think Arnold Howland hits like that. I think Emmett does, but Emmett won't get in range to do that.
Yeah.
But if I were to look at the 145 rankings now, I don't know a guy who really has that knockout power. That's why I don't get as excited for the fights up 45.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I think Yair's good, but he's unorthodox and he's a bit like you can see what he's doing in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like I look at his face and it's like he's got that face with the expressions and it's like you kind of can gauge what he's gonna do. I think Volk would be too smart for Yair.
What's with Korean Zombie getting dropped by Mexicans with spinning elbows? I know that's becoming a trend, like for him, but
bro, we love Mexico, bro. We love him. I'm so happy for Moreno as well, bro.
I picked Figgy too, but like, man, I was like, God damn, he deserved it, man. He really did. But
I don't even know what they're gonna do with him though. Like, apparently he walks around at like 165, 170, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
There's no way he can walk at 170 if he's cut into 125. Surely not.
I don't know, man. You think he's well? That's the problem, man. These guys be eating all that Mexican food, and they get big, man. Like KG is a legit. Like, honestly, when I look at him, I wouldn't even be surprised if he could make lightweight. Like, it just looking at the kind of like the body mass.
Yeah, I think it's a frame thing, though, isn't it? But like everybody who's like 5'8" should be fighting at like lightweight or welterweight. But I think he can't be arsed, innit? And we know muscle retains water, innit? That's why someone like Usman can make 170 so easy.
Yeah, that is true.
And Usman's top heavy, bro. If you look at his legs, they're like toothpicks, isn't it?
Dude, he got that John Jones thing, man. Like, he got real legs.
That's what worries me, innit? I'm seeing all these goats, like. I'm seeing like Weidman and Anderson Silva and all these guys get taken out by leg kicks. I'm so worried we're going to wait 3-4 years for John Jones to fight at heavyweight. And then we finally see it, like the first leg kick Francis Ngannou throws.
Yeah. Have you seen that meme where like there's that picture of all of them and like John's like the last one not to get his leg snapped or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like talking to each other or something like that. But,
I've seen that, and they're like got like marks against them. It's like this guy's been taken out. This guy's been taken out. John Jones left con.
Yeah, I don't know, man. John back in the day was so good, man. Like I feel like some of these kids, man, it's different because I mean, I don't know. Maybe they don't respect Lyoto Machida, Rashad, Rampage, and all those guys.
I was just saying the other day. John Jones versus Machida is one of my favorite fights. That guy's eyes were rolling back like a nympho, bro. Who the fuck chokes him standing up like that? Yeah. John Jones is a bad motherfucker, man.
He was gangster the way he even like walked away from his.
He just walked off as well. He just grabbed him, manhandled him, choked him out like mid-air, and then just goes like. And then I paused it, and then there's the picture of like Machida lying on the floor with his eyes rolled into the back of his head.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, oh my goodness, bro, like. You don't give a fuck, man. Like, like I've been saying for a while, that's like mindset is everything in the game, isn't it? And like I want that John Jones. I want the John Jones that like I don't want him to get personal, but I want the John Jones that's gonna come to you and fuck you up. Like that's what I'm saying, the Vittori Izzy conference. If we got John Jones, like the bad John Jones, it's like John Jones would dash him over the fucking advertising board, bro. He would. Izzy looks like a piece of paper compared to him, man. He's so
Man, I know. And people, I was telling some other people about this. Like, John wouldn't just beat Izzy in the he would beat him mentally. The thing is, John, like, people don't give John enough credit. He's a pretty good shit talker. Like, he can cut a promo.
Yeah, I've said that a lot.
And he doesn't get enough credit. He would have, the things he would have said to Izzy, I think would have made that dude cry. Like, honestly, like, I'm just being honest. I think he would have cried. Like,
you saw Izzy get into it with Marvin Vettori, who's not the most like literate guy, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck would John Jones do to him? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's Izzy gonna say about John Jones? Like, oh yeah, you did coke, you did this, you did that. He's heard all that shit, bro. You need new material. Do you know what I mean? Like, at this point, a decade later, John Jones has heard everything people have got to say.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that people still say shit about him, he goes out and wins fights, says a lot about it, how it doesn't bother him mentally. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's one of a kind, innit? And I just think I think when he retires, people are going to give him his props, and then by then it's going to be too late.
I think, and even I'm not gonna, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of John, but like, I mean, after the DC fight, like the second one, like, and that was like, I'm a big DC fan. That was so heartbreaking to see DC go out. Like, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I've said to this day, the worst thing they did Rhea was interview him after he got killed, and especially in a grudge match as well.
Yeah,
the fight of that magnitude. And then Joe Rogan went over to Conor after he broke his leg. You know he's full of adrenaline. You know he's lost a fight. He's pissed off. Like, he's just injured. He's just like broke his leg. He's gonna be out for like half a year now. And you're gonna go over and talk to him. Yeah, I get it. It's Conor. People need to hear what he's got to say. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Sell fights, all that bullshit. But it's getting to a point where it's becoming too theatrical. Like, look at what the fuck he was saying now. That wasn't even worth airing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was just calling another grown man's wife a hoe and shit like that. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
oh yeah, with Conor,
Like, bro, Joe interviewed him, and we didn't even get anything substantial. He didn't say, you know what, I felt good in there. No, he just went, yo, this isn't over. I'm gonna kill you. Death threats. Yeah. Your wife's a hoe, bro. Just made himself look like an absolute tit. Because you gotta understand, the guy's on one leg. Just front kick, Justin could just, like, Felder said it best, to be honest. Felder said, oh, I could just walk over and just, like, he could just soccer kick you and you can't do shit about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a line in it, do you know what I mean, with like trash talk. And like, people need to learn to differentiate these kind of things on it. Like the Conor we saw back in the day, you know, the guy that just made fun of people. Like, who the fuck is that guy and shit like that? That's what, like, in my head, that's like what we call banter, innit? Or trash talk and things like that. Whereas you're going after a man's wife, you're calling his girl a hoe, all these different things. That's not even trash talk. You're just trying to antagonize a guy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel you. I think with Conor, you know, in that, like, you know, to talk more about that main event, I mean, with him, I always felt like, I never thought, like, Colby, it's an act, right? Well, you can tell, like, it's a pro wrestling thing. With Conor, I always felt like it was real. I never thought it was him pretending to beat. Maybe it might be him kind of like, you know, going on level 10. But, like, I always thought that was kind of him. You know, I always thought that was his personality.
Do you think he needs to play a role in order to get himself motivated for a fight?
I think maybe.
Because I think I look at the Cowboy fight, and I think it was kind of I thought that for me was a tune-up, innit? But obviously people they want. The first Dustin fight, I think he was somewhat like, I've dusted this guy in 90 seconds. I'm not going to take him too seriously.
Yeah,
I'm doing him a favor, really, because I'm boxing a southpaw. I'm going to box Manny in the summer. But let's be real, like, this wasn't Conor's plan, innit? And then he was lost to him, and he was like, oh shit, I lost to him. And I was too nice to him, and I didn't take it seriously. So this time around, I'm going to come back and let everybody know I've still got the old juice. Came back wearing the suits, grew his hair back out, all this shit. Yeah. And even when I watched the press conference, I was like, you and me could tell, like, it was just forced. You know, some of the stuff he was saying, like, it weren't like, it weren't like somewhat quick-witted. It weren't on the spot. It weren't funny. It weren't playful. It was, I'm gonna come in there. You're dead Saturday night. All this shit. And it's just like, I ain't got no time for shit like that, to be honest. Because obviously, like, people saw the behind the scenes footage of the second fight, Like Jolie went over to Conor when he was icing his leg. He was dead. Like his leg was fucked, in it. She
Yeah.
went over, then thanked him for the donation. Thanked him for. She said the money's going to support. The money's going to support the foundation. You're going to help influence so many kids' lives and all this shit. Like, bro, like these people are so nice as well. You're just going to do that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like she didn't have to go over and talk to him, innit? And like be like commiserations and like be gracious and all that. She didn't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. You're right. You're right. But there's a part of me that thinks, I think Conor was pit. No, I really think that there was a legit anger towards Dustin, not because of like almost the charity stuff, but it's like, I think he just was mad that this guy was like, he looked at him like a bum, you know?
Yeah.
And he thinks like, yeah. And now he kind of is like, oh, who does this guy think he is? Like kind of, because I know Dustin was kind of, I think a lot of things that kind of pissed Conor off, and I think he said in previous interviews, is that Dustin was almost parading over the win, acting like Conor didn't, like he was like acting like I didn't help him get to this moment. And he's almost like just, you know, he was just kind of doing like some like, I don't know how to describe it, but like just kind of talking shit, a little bit of shit, but not a lot. But like just like, you know, kind of like kind of bragging and like, dude,
I get it.
Yeah.
I think Conor's image, right, is sold on being this striker. He's light-footed.
Yeah.
He fucking darts in and out of range. He knocks you out stiff. He's the most dangerous fighter inside around. All of this stuff. And then for the image to almost go away because Dustin knocked you out the first fight, that's gonna fuck with your ego a bit. I think people talked about in the build up to the third fight, people say, "Oh, Conor's gonna come back. He's gonna be bad Conor again. He's gonna trash talk him. How's he gonna deal with that mentally?" I think people forgot the point of how does Conor deal mentally from the fact that this is his first MMA loss in his professional career by knockout. Yeah. How do you deal by standing across someone who's knocked you out that you beat 6 years ago prior inside 90 seconds? How do you deal with that? Like, if you've not, like, you and me, man to man, right? If you've knocked a guy out, and then they've come back and knocked you out, how does that not fuck with you?
It makes you mad almost. Like that. I think that's the only response to it, because it's like, I know I'm better than this guy, but he beat me. And then that's the hard part with like kind of adjusting. And I think that's what Conor dealt with, was that in his head, he's like, I know I'm better than Dustin. Like I beat him. Like there's no denying that he did beat him, but like things have changed. And I think that was kind of like, it was just I think there was a mental hurdle. So I think what I tried to do was like, all right, let's go back to the old, you know, like let's try to like, you know, let's go back in the past and let's try to bring back what he did and in that first fight. And I think that's what he bring in the trilogy. But I don't think it was like what I'm trying to say is I don't think he planned it out. I think it was almost like natural that he just did it, you know?
Do you know, for me though, Conor's at a point where he's got the name. Like he could fight someone in the parking lot, people would go and watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when you're in that position in life, I think Conor reminds me right now of you know that granddad who sits you on your lap and tells a story about how good he was and how he was the man back in the day and things like that. He can't say that anymore because he's not the man. I think he needs to reinvent himself because he's surrounded himself by this. He's got the like. I think the camp's an issue, isn't it? Like, you've got guys here like that just won't tell you how it is because you've made them all so rich to a point where if they go and work for other fighters, they'll be making a tenth of what they'd be making if they work for Conor. And I think even in the embedded thing, like you've got a guy coming out handing him fucking AirPods. Like, what the fuck, man? Go inside and get them yourself.
Yeah,
things like that. Just shit like that. And then I don't know, man. The stuff came out about the leg fractures and then the ankle tape. And then Dana said he's got arthritis in his ankles. Have you heard about this? And then bro, there's so much shit coming out about him. It's like, bro, he's so fucking rich. He doesn't need to fight anymore, to be honest. He really doesn't. Yeah. Like, I don't know why he's doing it at this point because
I think he loves it. I think that's what it comes down to. I think he does. You know, he's young. He's not old. He's young.
Yeah, but the inactivity fucks you, to be honest. Like like we're looking at Nick. Like Nick Diaz lost his prime years, isn't it? Like we'll see how he gets on and stuff. But I don't know. Like, some of that stuff is like we talk about, like people talk about Muhammad Ali and how he's the greatest and everything else, but he lost his prime years because of the politics and the wars and everything else, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think with Conor, I think with Conor, if I had to guess, right, I don't know him personally, but I think he's that guy, who gets fueled by adrenaline. He enjoys the rush, innit?
Yeah.
He enjoys these kind of antics. So it's like he likes his whiskey, he likes the fights. Like he's an adrenaline junkie in it, so to speak. I think, in my opinion, anyways. And I think that's why he fights. I think he fights because, and I think he somewhat like struggles to like motivate himself in a sense. When you've got that much money in the bank, like I don't blame you in it again. But like I think that's why like he tries to rile himself up so that he can get mad and talk shit to other people, try and rile them up and try and get them in the fight when they're all like when they're a bit head lost. Do you know what I mean? I think he's a thrill seeker. I think that's what he is. I think that's why he doesn't like fighting grapplers or like wrestlers and things like that. He's that type of guy. He wants to go in there and he wants to slug it out and have two guys like knock each other's heads off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's an adrenaline junkie in it. So I think, but that top of the division, like you've got Islam and Beneil in the top 5. They're not going to strike with him. He ain't fighting Dustin.
I think. What's the fight? I want to see him fight Tony. I think that's the fight to make. I think first of all, he owes Tony a fight because I think Tony was the interim champion while he was the champ, and he never got that fight. I think that's the fight to make, honestly, and that's the fight I want to see. Top 3 favorite.
I think for me, I think for me, with Tony Ferguson, like he's 38 now. I don't know how much money he made, but he kind of made, like, realistically, he should have made more than what he should have made because he should have been fighting for belts and things like that. Yeah. I think the UFC owe him a Conor fight. Like they gave Cowboy a Conor fight for the years of service and everything else. They owe Tony Ferguson a Conor fight. Like regardless of the outcome, he gets a big fucking paycheck. Send him out on the high, regardless of the outcome, and things like that. And I think.
How do you think that fight goes?
It's so hard because I don't know where both guys are at in their careers. Yeah. If it was 2016, I would have told you the outcome.
Oh, really? That's actually. I wonder what would have happened in their primes. Like,
2016, my money would have been on Tony Ferguson.
Yeah,
because I think.
I'll tell you how I felt about Tony. I was such a Tony hater in 20. Yeah. I actually I became I felt bad for him after the Gaethje fight, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If you watch some of my old videos, I really wanted to see Justin cave a hole in that dude's face because I was like his fans were so irritated. But Tony,
I think his fans though I don't recognize myself as a stand. Like I like a lot of fighters, isn't it, for the most part? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, I think their fans, he have waited 6 years to see Tony fight for a belt.
Yeah.
He's been getting respected at every opportunity. So for them, a lot of them take their anguish out on other people, and I think you shouldn't react like that. But I think that's what a lot of them do, because especially people use MMA Twitter for the wrong reasons, and they vent their anger and frustrations out on other people. But outside of MMA Twitter and outside of Twitter, outside of social media as well, people have got lives, and we don't people have got their personal lives, and we don't know what goes on in the outside world. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So some people deal with shit, and it's some of them go on Twitter just to look at stuff, and it's you're just seeing comments of abuse and shit. So it's not fun to look at, innit?
Yeah.
The reason why my money was on Tony Ferguson is because, so with the Nate fight, right? I know obviously it was short notice and everything else, but I think Conor struggles with a guy who's extremely durable and has elite jiu-jitsu in it, and I think Tony has both of those in abundance. I think what the fuck do you do, if Conor's punching your face for 2 rounds and Tony's still standing at you, smiling at you with his face covered in blood at the end of the second round? What the fuck do you do?
You get scared, man.
Yeah, and Tony's so awkward. Tony's so awkward as well. It's if Conor just goes in, Conor throws a lot of straight shots as well. So I imagine stuff will get him around the guard. I think the spinning elbow is there to land on Conor, if you ask me. I think the Minori roll could be a way to sweep Conor off his feet. I think that. And Tony's got the ability to switch stances as well.
Yeah. I think I agree with you now. I probably would feel that way now, but I don't know. There was a weird thing back in the day. I used to think Tony's chin was going away because he used to get dropped all the time.
Yeah, he got hurt in a Venata fight, innit?
Yeah, and I used to think his chin is on its way, but man, I'm starting to think he has a really good chin.
Yeah, I think he gets hurt in fights, but people confuse chins and recovery. For instance, fighters get hurt in fights. Like, let's be real. Like, getting punched in the face, having 100 strikes hit your face isn't fucking easy. Like, let's put that out there, innit? I think fighters. I don't think a fighter's never been hurt in a fight. Like, let's not say that. Like, I'm sure Khabib's been clipped and thought, "Fuck, this hurts," and then just grabs the man and takes him down, innit? I think he's been hurt, but I think his recovery is what keeps him from getting finished. I think Nate Diaz is the same. Like, Nate Diaz got stung a good 3-4 times in the Leon fight, but he deflected from that and almost. Did you see when he started like sticking his ass out?
Oh yeah.
His ass out like 3-4 times, and it was like, it's like, I know you're not gonna attack me while I do this. I'm gonna like recover because you've just fucked me up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like people were clowning Leon, but I was like, bro, he hurt me a good 3-4 times. With what? How are you supposed to chase up a finish when a guy sticks his ass out? You like that? It just doesn't look great. It looks almost unsportsmanlike in it if you kind of almost clip him in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Since you brought up Leon, I know everyone thinks I'm crazy for saying this, but I think Leon's gonna. If Colby can't beat Usman, I think Leon's the last guy that can really, challenge him. I think he really is. I have never been more, and so crazy. I almost thought about becoming like on my Twitter, like I might just after the Nate fight, I might just be a Leon fan because it's insane the hate he got for that fight.
Yeah.
He is so good.
Do you know Nate defended him a bit? I think I'll send you the thing afterwards, but like that BJPen.com thing posted something in it, and like Gilbert Burns responded to it because it was about like Nate basically isn't interested in fighting Burns, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like Burns was talking about like how like he fought Leon and all this shit. I think Nate said something that basically just said Leon's levels above you. I fought the very best. Like, shut the fuck up. You're getting knocked out by lightweights, kind of thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a bit like, I think Nate acknowledges how good Leon is. There's a reason why Nate picked Leon. He had nothing to get. Like, there's a reason why he picked Leon, innit? Like, I think Nate says it. Like, I think he fought Jorge because Jorge was on a high, and it was a very smart thing to do because obviously you get a guy who's on the cusp of being a superstar. You fight him, and you're gonna get some of the shine as well. You put a BMF belt in it in the process, and it's gonna like do numbers. Do you know what I mean? And I think he fought Leon because I think for himself he just enjoys the challenge, innit? Like, and Leon's for him is probably the hardest puzzle to crack.
Yeah. I just when I watch the first fight, I just see Leon, with Usman, by the way. But like when I see that first fight, I was like, man, I just feel like Leon didn't have the time. Like, and even in that fight, I thought he could have maybe done some stuff in those championship rounds. But I mean, when they fight, it
was 3 rounds, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 3 rounds, and it was 29-28.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a minute, like that. Nobody really takes rounds off Usman, innit? Especially in 3-round fights.
Dude, I'm gonna send you this. TJ looks old as hell.
I'm telling you, don't be surprised if he gets knocked out inside 2 rounds.
Oh my god, yeah, I think he's gonna get smoked now. And he's wearing the white shorts. He's wearing the Venom white shorts.
He's gonna look stiff, man. He's gonna look stiff in there.
Have you heard about that stat about all the dudes in the main event that wears like the Venom white shorts? They all end up losing. I think it was like Kelvin.
Bro, no way, that's a thing though. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I'm trying to wash white shorts.
Yeah,
come on, Kelvin. It doesn't matter what color doesn't matter what color the shorts are, man. Anybody half decent beats Kelvin Gastelum, but fucking white shorts.
No, I think Moises is wearing white shorts too. Let me think. Bro, it's real, man. I swear to God. Why don't fighters utilize elbows to the inner thigh?
Yeah. Elbow your inner thigh. It's pretty painful. Do you know what? I think it leaves it just leaves your chin open.
Yeah. Or I think it's just a weird thing to do.
It's just I think it's awkward, but also you're literally like especially against the fence. If you're just gonna if you're gonna grab someone, if you're gonna control someone with the left and then elbow someone with the right, I think you just leave the other knee open to go across, innit?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to work it out in my head now because I'm trying to visualize it. I don't know. It just looks like an awkward technique, innit?
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt was wearing white shorts when he lost to Rob Font. Hey, bro, this is real, man. These Venom white shorts.
Bro, are you actually researching this now?
No, I'm looking at it.
don't jinx it yet, because if the Sandman loses, I'm blaming you.
All right, yeah, it's on me if he loses.
No, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Yeah, like obviously, I think people make their mistakes in life and shit like that. Because, like I said, like I know John took stuff, but like it doesn't change my fact that I think he's the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. But it's like it doesn't sit right with me, yeah, because I always believe in meritocracy, and it doesn't sit right with me that if TJ was to win, he'd probably get the next title shot. Bearing in mind he got done cheating and he's been suspended for 2 years, and 135 is so stacked, and there's guys out here just fighting the very best guys, and then you got Sean O'Malley who fights tin cans every week and looks good. Bro, be honest, yeah, you got to hit like a bitch here to throw 150 strikes at someone and not drop him.
Man, I did. I was shocked. I was shocked he didn't knock him out. I was like, "What am I? What?" Like, I became a fan of Chris after watching that fight. Yeah, I was like, "Man, this kid's tough."
That guy's got no head movement though. Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. If he fights like anybody with some type of like understanding of MMA and the UFC, like I actually hope for his sake he doesn't get re-signed, because it's not going to end well for him. Yeah. I don't think he's a legit, like he's a pro fighter. Don't get it twisted, but I think he needs more time in that like pro circuit.
I think he needs, he needs time in the pro circuit. I just think that was worrying, in it, like just eating strikes like that. So, did you see DC as well? Like videoing him when he's eating an ice cream sandwich. He's just been punched. He's just had his head punched in for 15 minutes. Leave the man alone and let him eat in peace, man. Fuck's sake.
No, DC wanted man. You already know DC wanted like what was it? Ice cream sandwich.
DC wanted a piece of that, bro. DC was like, literally, I'll fight you for it. And Chris is gonna be like, okay. DC trying to throw strikes at him, he just won't go down.
Yeah. Is Michael Johnson still in the? I think he still is. I don't think they cut him.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
So,
was his last fight Moises, or has he fought since?
No, his last fight was Clay Guida. He lost to Clay.
Oh shit, he lost to Clay, didn't he? Fuck yeah.
I know, that sucks.
He's probably got one of the best resumes at lightweight when you think about it.
No, he has such a weird career. I used to think Michael was gonna do something. I thought he was gonna stay, in at least the top 15 for a little bit. After he lost to Justin, it was like quicksand with his career. Like,
yeah, it was. He was top 6 for a while as well. And I think the Michael Johnson Justin fight was such a coin flip. Like anybody could have won that fight, kind of thing. It was just like both of those dudes were just getting punished, isn't it? If Dustin beats Oliveira, Dustin versus MJ2.
Imagine if Michael does it again, though.
Oh my goodness.
Insane.
You know what? That's probably one of the craziest punches I've seen, like it was just such a wild punch. Like when I watched that in real time, like I didn't like, do you know when your eyes don't catch it? Like I was like, oh, that would have put my lights out as well. Like I don't blame Dustin for getting knocked out like that.
I remember that card. I didn't want to watch that card because I thought Dustin was gonna win that. And
all I'm gonna say is the 2 times Dustin's been KO'd in his career, he was a skinhead. Calm over, Dustin's never been knocked out, so shut up, man. Leave him alone. Yeah. Dustin's got a great chin though. People I don't know, like you've got to do something pretty like mad to like knock.
Dude, that card was crazy because I think Derek Brunson, Uriah Hall fight on that card, and Derek knocked Uriah Hall in the first round. It was a non-whole kind of card. I thought that card when it got officially, it was a while. I think 2 years ago. I think 3 now. I was like, man, this card's gonna be trash. Like I was so convinced, like these guys, it's not gonna be worth watching. And then when I seen that, I was like, whoa, what? I was like, did Michael really knock this dude out? And then when Derek knocked Uriah Hall out, I was like, I felt so bad for Uriah. I was like, man, Derek's such a bum.
Uriah's a weird one for me because he's still relatively young, and I feel like there was once upon I feel like he was another guy who I thought was so gifted, and middleweight could have been something special, man. We had Rockhold just go on that run, and then we had like Uriah Hall coming through tough as well, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like middleweight's finally going to be a good division, and it's just like it just went to shit. Like my boy Mike just fucked shit up, and he really did, because Yoel Romero KO'd Chris Weidman with the knee at that time as well, in that time period.
That division was so good.
Middleweight was hotting up, and then Mike wins the belt, and it's like, fuck.
I'm not even lying. Mike and Rob kind of did a number on, because if you remember, Rob got injured all the time, so he never really got to defend the belt, and it just caused a lot of stagnation. And I think Jacare, Weidman, and Rockhold just left the division.
I don't think it was just him though, because I think Jacare pulled out of fights. Rockhold was pulling out of fights. Joe Romero was getting done for tainted supplements and shit.
Yeah,
like all of them were on dumb stuff, to be honest. And it was like, and that's why they brought GSP back in it. Like, look what the fuck was happening in that division at the time. Like, it's just like they hadn't that it was that bad. They made Mike versus Hendo too, innit? Like, because of the landscape of the division at the time. Like, Rockhold was getting the skin graft for his shins, innit? His shins were like getting split and stuff.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was nasty, by the way, because he wore the tape in the Jan Blachowicz fight, and then
man, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah,
after that one.
Jacare was getting injured. I know Rob had issues initially at middleweight. I know Yoel Romero is a weird one because he either makes weight, pulls out, or like gets done for something. Like Yoel Romero, like there's a reason why he's only got like 16, 17 fights or something, and he's like 40, 45.
It's crazy. He started.
He pulls out a lot though, to be honest.
Yeah, he does. He started when what's it called? I think he was 30. He started MMA.
Yeah, he started late. Like,
yeah, no, but even DC, I think DC started in 30, but he has like way more fights than Yoel. He's like at least
DC's different though, isn't it? DC like has been wrestling, like, you know, these wrestling guys. I know obviously you're in the US, you can educate me better.
Yeah,
they've been doing that since a lot of them do it since they're like 6 or something. That guy's been an athlete for over 20 years.
Yeah,
I know Yoel's been in the Olympics, but so is DC, bro. The Olympics is like, you've got fighting and you've got the Olympics. The Olympics is like the highest of the highest for any athlete, in it. So when I see, so I always take that accolade very seriously. Like when I look at someone like DC or a Cejudo or someone or Yoel, I'm always like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know the population in the US, but you're the guy that gets to go to the Olympics out for like hundreds of millions of people. Like, that's a privilege in itself. Do you know what I mean?
I feel you. I completely agree. But yeah, man, I just never understood why he never fought as much as he should have. You know,
like you're saying, innit? If you're 30 and you go to the sport late, I think you pulling out and doing all the shit doesn't help because you've got such a limited time. You've got such a short career in MMA.
Yeah,
like, you've got to like make the most of it. You got to be active and do shit like that. It's just like,
yeah, middleweight is trash. Right now,
middleweight's awful. Middleweight. Do you know what? I think middleweight and obviously lightweight's got the names, but I still think Dustin and Charles are levels above everyone else in that division.
Yeah.
For me, they're just like, I don't know. Like, I think people are saying, that was the old Justin. This Justin's gonna do this, bro. Justin got dropped by Tony Ferguson. Who the fuck does Tony Ferguson ever drop with his hands?
Yep.
Like, so what Tony will do on the feet is he'll cut you up with elbows. The doctor will look at you in between rounds and call the fight off. I can't remember the last time he put someone on their ass.
That's when was, I think, no, god damn it, you'd have to go really back.
Right. Like, I think you don't really score knockdowns, isn't it? I think like he can punch, but it's like his elbows, if you're that long, your elbows and your knees and your kicks and everything are going to be such a viable asset. Kind of like what a Leon does or what John Jones does, but he's in a different mold because I just think he just really ain't got the hands.
Yeah.
Lando. He dropped Lando. How long ago was that though? Fucking 2014.
Okay. So that makes sense.
How long ago was Lando though?
That was a long time ago, man. That was a real long time ago.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know what? Like, obviously, I think scoring knockdowns isn't like, it's hard, but it's like when people talk about Tony's stand up, can we not talk about him like he's like prime Muhammad Ali on the feet kind of thing?
Nah, man, it's bad. It's actually like no disrespect.
Like, he gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot. Like,
yeah.
There's no other way to put it. Like, we saw it in the Kevin Lee fight. I think that's why people were tipping him to fight tipping Conor against him, because it was like, he gets hit a lot, and you just can't eat that many shots against a McGregor.
I was feeling like his chin was going away, and I thought Conor was gonna dust his ass if they ever fought.
Yeah.
But now it's like I got a different opinion on it. It's weird.
The fight I really raged that we missed out was RDA versus Conor back in 2015.
Yeah, man, that would have been crazy. We can still get it though. We can still get it.
Yeah, I think RDA would fight him in it, but I think they're trying to bait
Islam, yeah,
fighting Islam in it. You can see it now because it makes sense. RDA wanted a top 5 guy, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And now they've moved Islam to number 5. But if you're RDA and you was the backup to the trilogy, I don't know. Like I don't know where the UFC have obviously holding him in high regard if they got him as backup to the trilogy.
Yeah.
Or is it a case of because he's a southpaw and they thought the Stars?
Well, yeah. What was I gonna say? Chandler was the backup for Gaethje and Khabib.
And he ended up fighting for the belt, yeah.
Yep. So I think RDA might get something special. I still there's still a big part of me that thinks RDA might fight Gaethje, but Gaethje got us. Hey, I don't know what he's doing, but that dude, I think he knows what's up. I think his time in that top 5,
I've said for the last 2 years he's not an elite fucking lightweight, is it? But
yeah, his time coming up.
When he loses again, yeah, I'm coming after all these fucking schmucks in it. Don't forget it. I'm coming after all of them because I fucking told him he's 1-3 against the elite, and the only guy he beat was Tony Ferguson, who fucking dropped him in round 2.
Yeah,
but he's just like, how are you getting dropped by Tony Ferguson, bro? Like, what? Look, I don't even want to be rude, but like,
I like Justin. I do like Justin, but I always thought he was a little. I enjoyed what Eddie did to him. I enjoyed that. That was probably Eddie's like greatest. Well, I wouldn't say it's his greatest victory, but it's one of them victories that like reminded y'all like, hey, I was a champ for a reason.
Yeah. I know people gave him shit for the Conor fight, don't it? Everyone's saying he didn't mix up like the clinch and shit like that, but if you watch the fight back, he started off kicking Conor's legs. He then tried to clinch him against the fence, but Conor reversed position and then brought it back. Conor's just got such a good understanding of distance and range that.
No, just Conor. He was just too good on that day.
Yeah.
On that night, he was better. Ain't nothing else he can say. Eddie couldn't do nothing. That maybe like if they would run it back, you never know. But like,
Dana said Tony is gonna fight in October or November.
Yeah. I think that's.
Bro, I need to pay attention to Uncle Dana. You know, I ain't seen
that's a good time for him. He be lying. Dana be lying though. Sometimes you never know.
Bro, can we not bash Ken Beneil BKG? They ain't gonna fight. They're like buddies, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty close.
I don't think Beneil's fight up. I think he's blessed to be number 3 because he beat Tony, who was number 6 or number 5, and he ended up getting jumped up to number 3.
Yeah, I thought that was wild, but all right, man. This Wi-Fi thing is tripping bad, but I mean, good convo though. We got to do this again.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we were supposed to have this at 5, which is what 5 hours ago, and then you called and you told me to do at 8.
Yeah,
I'm blaming you for that.
I thought I did UK time search, and it said like when it's gonna be 1, it's gonna be 5 for y'all. So I was like, all right, okay, that makes sense. But I guess
I know what you mean because I know these guys will blame me and I just go, it's the fucking UK guy. I was like, it's not my fault. Blame FA if you didn't get the stream earlier.
Yeah. But all right, though, man. Hey, man, Ed. I mean, really good talk. I can't wait to have you back. I would really enjoy it if we could do this more consistently.
Likewise. Yo, 1 hour 58.
Jeez. Yeah, we went in. But all right, y'all. Appreciate it. I got a dip. Love y'all. Goodbye. See ya.
Peace.